So we're here at an undisclosed location. What's going on, Matt?
We're out here in an old Kmart for Bass Pro. We're putting up a 12-foot fence and we're up and down the ladders today. I thought you guys might like to take a peek at how we do it.
I ain't got nothing right now.
So we just a couple weeks ago sent out a tool video that we had made showcasing these banana clips. We got a homemade one here. This would be a great demonstration on why they're great to use and why you need to buy them from ozfence.store. All right. Give me a banana, get up out of there.
This is essentially what Victor and Abe did last week with the baseball field.
Okay.
It's just 20 foot high, and they hooked it onto the lift.
That's how we climb them.
That's pretty good. All right. So we're using our banana clips, and man, they are handy. At least it acts like some extra hands to help hold this wire up here while we throw some tension bands around the post and cinch it down. All right.
Banana clips at ozfence.store.
Words of wisdom with Jace.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Beautiful.
So we just finished up out here. We got the 12-foot gate put up. The 12-foot fence is up and it's rolling pretty smooth. And they've got a roll gate latch here where they can put a padlock on it. So I think it went pretty well. It was a little bit of a chore getting it up there. Those banana clips sure did help. And we're off to the next one. Boy, crikey. Look, we found the cameraman in the wild. He's sitting in his car out here in the parking lot. This is a very rare glimpse at what the wild cameraman does in nature. He's sitting in his vehicle. Oh, it's stupendous. There he is. He's talking to somebody. Oh my. What a sighting it has been. Signing off.
Today is the day. Standing University is here. I'm heading out to the hotel where it's hosted and should be fun. I think several people are signed up, so it should be a good event. It's today and tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I think all day, both days, so it should be good. Let's go. And here we are. This next part of the episode is going to be a bit different. The whole of Thursday and Friday was spent learning all about staining and running a business at Standing University. So I'm just going to show you some of the best parts from those 2 days and see what you guys think.
With that being said, let's start off with mySalesman.
Let it ride.
My name is Rachel. In spite of if you have read, I do not own mySalesman, but the AFA actually had a publication that I own mySalesman. I do not, and I have a great team. This is Kelsey Pavel, K-E-L-S-E-A, and I have KC Ryan, KC. That's his name, just KC. So we're really hot on the K names. But anyway, why are we here? Well, we are part of the fence industry. We started in the fence industry. Many of you have heard Matt Warner speak. He started Empire Fence in 2009. He knew there had to be a better way of doing business, kind of like what we are all doing here. We're all, to coin a phrase, by a show of hands, who has heard of great minds think alike? You read that? So what if we curtail that and say, like-minded people can do great things, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're like-minded people. We know we don't have all the answers, and some of you might be stronger in one area, some of you might be stronger in another area, and maybe you're not all faith-based here, but I just want to read something that I happened to read this morning. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. So we're all conditioned to have different types of gifts that we offer. So Matt is the president of our company, but he has always given us free reign to be able to collaborate, own it, and be a part of it. So anyway, that being said, again, why are we here today? Because many of you, there's a few fence companies in the audience. Many of you are majority stainers and pressure washing. So we got started, Matt created mySalesman. I'm just gonna have Kelsey run through. mySalesman is a lead qualifying program because we need to be effective and productive and very efficient in our processes. And I know you guys all listen to Joe, and he's processes and procedures. And that mySalesman is just kind of the starting point for that. We're on the user end. So this is our website for Empire Netting and Fence back in Nebraska. So when we have a customer that calls our company, and just like you, I mean, it's any industry, right? Somebody's gonna call you for your services, and we want to, help you and be as efficient as we can, but we also don't want to waste our time. So when Mrs. Jones calls, wants us to come out and give an estimate, well, Mrs. Jones, absolutely, we can be there. I'm gonna take some information, and if you don't mind, if you visit our website, click on our instant quote button, because we're gonna be able to give you some information right away. And then that's going to go into our team's to-do list, and we'll be able to see that job, know how much you need, and give you a budget. And then we'll call back and we will schedule an on-site visit if that's pertinent. So Kelsey, if you don't mind, we're gonna send our customers to Empire Fence. They're gonna go through. We're gonna capture all their contact information, should autofill too. So we're gonna capture all their contact information, and then we're gonna put their company information, or excuse me, their address in.
Well, we know where Rachel is now.
Well, I wish.
It's not her address.
I wish that was my house. And then it's a simple process of click to start, click to stop, to put where that homeowner wants their fence, or where they need staining.
Does that Google map knows the property line?
No, nope. Google Map does not know their property line. And remember, I sent Kelsey, she is a user, and what we're doing here is we're giving a budget. We don't want or claim to give a hardcore estimate online. We just want to get that information to us as the contractor and to that homeowner, just to see if we're in the ballpark and if it's really worth our time, Chin, to even go out to visit that customer on site. Or maybe we're like, go ahead, Kelsey. I had no idea fence cost that much. You know, and so this is probably not something that we're gonna send Casey out to go visit that customer, because they're just not ready for a fence of this caliber yet. So they're gonna get a budget, and so that budget right there, those are all numbers that you put into the system, okay? You're gonna put those numbers in the system, and it's not gonna give the user of the program an exact dollar amount. We actually put a range in here. Our range is probably negative 2% to 30% over our actual price point for this fence. So our actual price for this fence is going to fall on that left-hand side. Nice psychological edge on our part when we go out and say, Mrs. Jones, your fence is going to be $6,700 or $6,800. And they're like, oh, well, gee, okay. I was thinking it was going to be on the higher end. So anyway, so that is what mySalesman does. It really makes our team here, Henry and Darren, very effective and efficient at doing their job.
So up here on the slide, one of the reasons we as a company fit really well with mySalesman and all the folks here is because sort of at our core, we're not in this to make money. We know money will come if we are successful in making you all better. But at the core of what we do and care about is our company's mission statement. Our company's mission statement is we want to make contractors heroes. Well, that seems kind of weird. Why do we want to make you heroes? Well, the truth is, most contractors don't have an awesome reputation with the general public. It's probably fair to say that there's some gaps in understanding, there's some gaps in communication, there's some gaps in expectation that kind of lead to all that kind of stuff. It's also probably fair to say that there's opportunities for you guys to be heroic to your families at home, to be heroic to your employees and their families. And what we care about and what we get up every day thinking about is how can we make you guys better? We were, I was doing a show with couples. It was a retreat for couples, so it was contractors and their spouse. And there was a guy that was talking about marriages, and he was talking about the difficulties of owner-operators and trying to like keep their relationships together. And one of the wives stood up and said, "I feel like my husband's just married to my phone, to his phone. He's not married to me. He's married to his phone because he's on it all the time. He cares about it all the time." And there's a perspective that was given yesterday. How do I run my business instead of my business run me? Why do y'all think that ends up being the case? Why is your business running you? Any thoughts? Like, what is it that causes that?
Lack of control.
Okay.
Dedication.
Say again?
Dedication.
Dedication.
Not enough hours in the day.
Awareness.
Okay. Not having enough hours in the day. I think what happens is, as you guys start a business and you start to take on work, there's only so much one person can do, right? And so you sort of hit a glass ceiling where you just can't process more stuff. But when you're at that ceiling, that means you're doing everything all by yourself, all day, every day, and it just becomes unmanageable. That's when it feels like you're running the business. That's when your customers are like, well, wait a minute, I'm never hearing back from him. That's when your spouses and their families are like, wait a minute, we never get to see Dad because all he ever does is work. And so to fix those kind of problems, what can you do? You really can throw time or people or money at it, right? Like you have to add capacity somehow. And when we talk about technology, technology is probably not something that everybody thinks of first. But the truth is technology is cheaper than humans. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't call me on Monday and say, I need a mental health day because my cat had a rough weekend. True story that happened to me 2 months ago. I had one of my employees call and just say, I need a mental health day. My cat had a rough weekend. I mean, that shit happens, right, with people. One of the toughest things about running a business is people, the people that you have to employ and stuff. And so technology can be a resource that can help open up the ceiling of growth for you, but also let you get control of your life again and help you scale your business. So we're really, really focused on trying to make your guys' businesses better.
So I wanted to do something different, and it took me a minute or a while to think about it, and probably 2 days before I came here I wrote some notes that I think I'm going to turn into another talk. And most of you probably know that Joe probably does the same thing, wing it. Usually I've spent my whole life winging it. And as a new initiative in my life, I'm being more prepared for things, so I'm writing notes and things. And so I wrote this down. I'm surrounded by planners, and they're rubbing off on me. So I wrote some notes of just some things. I tend to learn better by hearing a story rather than, Jesus spoke in stories, and so I figure if it's good enough for him, I can probably do it too. And so I just put some notes together here of things that I think have worked for me, looking back. And these are basically things that I wish I would have known earlier, maybe. And so I'm going to read like the kid in school, that couldn't read very good, but he got put on the spot. So I'm going to be looking at notes because I do not have this memorized yet, and I'm going to try to stick to the script here. So I'm going to read it, but the idea of this is to kind of give you maybe inspiration, or maybe confirmation that what you're doing is right, or just entertain you maybe. So So I think I will call this what has worked for me, because what works for me may not work for any of you, but it has worked for me. And so I put some bullet points first, and then I totally went off the rails and just started writing a story here. So, so what has worked for me? Speed. I like to go fast. Everybody probably likes to go fast. I feel like going fast, really, the speed of business is faster these days, and to go fast is fast. I kind of think of Navy SEALs versus Big Army. Navy SEALs can turn on a dime and get things done very quickly. The Big Army, it's this huge thing. It takes a long time to turn it around. Industriousness. I don't know what the definition of industriousness is, but like getting busy, getting after, getting stuff done, making something out of nothing, whatever, right? Most of you guys probably have that. I also developed a hearing problem, which I think has worked very well. Honey, don't get a motorcycle, huh? Right? You can't do that, you can't do this, that won't work. I developed a hearing problem. Outside the box thinking. Questioning norms, questioning normal things, you know, question everything. Holding customer experience as sacred. I'm a big proponent of that, and that's hard to do as you grow. Not afraid of going to zero. And what I mean by that is many different things, but Ashley and I have done every job in the business, and we're not afraid to do it again. Like tomorrow I'll start staying in again, and I'll figure it out, you know. Not afraid to go to zero, which also means not afraid to go all in, because I'm not afraid to go to zero. And most importantly, intuition. I heard an interview with, what's the guy from Amazon? Bezos? And they interviewed him how he did it, and he basically said every decision was gut. It was all gut, every bit of it. And I thought that was strange, and I thought maybe I am doing something right. But now I've wrote little snippets, and I'll show you what it looks like. You know, each one's maybe a paragraph, and then I'm going to just leave space for thought in between. And if you guys ask questions, do it. Let's do it at the end. And because I'm kind of like a dog that sees squirrels. I'm going to try not to go down any bunny trails today. But anyways, so here is a few things that worked for me, and I have not remembered all of them, but I hope that maybe you'll pick up something out of this that help your business, especially if it's a new one. So first, a lot has changed in my thought process, in my level of patience, and my level of awareness since I began this journey. I'm not special. I do not have a college degree. I did not come from a family with lots of money or big business experience. I've never taken out a business loan or took investors. My wife and I have worked really hard and grown close to each other in this process of building our business. We are nowhere near the end of our journey. I'm trying to make eye contact and be a good speaker here. But we are further along than I think either one of us ever dreamed we would be, or dreamed possible. And looking back, I feel like I am most qualified to help one person, and that is the person who I used to be, because that's the only person I feel like I could help, right? I'm going to share a few things that worked for me and that I wish I had done or implemented sooner or listened sooner. I'm going to set my phone over here because if that thing keeps buzzing my butt, I might dance. All right. So when we started our staining business, I was hungry, very hungry, willing to do whatever it takes to do something great or to be something great. I was never afraid to work late. This is where I want you to take notes. If you get a nugget here, this is where I want you to extract the nuggets. I was never afraid to work late. There's one. For me, that was one. Never afraid to work late on a job to give a customer the best experience and the best finished product available. And maybe that was the best to my ability, right? Because I'm not a genius stainer. I'm just a guy who, I guess I'll stay another 3 hours and redo it until I get it right. Willing to do that. I believe that my willingness to serve customers to the best of my ability had a profound effect on the growth of our company. Simply put, if you create a scenario where the customer has a you wouldn't believe it, what this guy did, experience, I feel like they'll tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
And I think Stanton does a whole lot of that. I don't know if he's in the room or not. A lot of you guys do that. I know Stephen does it, and it serves you all well. The same way it has me. To fully take advantage of that, you have to be memorable. I knew that I wanted to make a lasting impression and have a catchy name in a wrapped truck, or having a catchy name, Stain and Seal Experts, and having a wrapped truck gave me the confidence I needed to have to feel like I was doing that, to be memorable. That's what worked for me, wrapped truck. All my trucks I want wrapped. I want a catchy name. You know, I want to look the part.
So there you guys have it. That's a glimpse into Stanton University. If you guys enjoyed it and want to see more of it, let us know, and we can maybe throw together a video that shows more, because this is just a very small section of the whole 2 days, and there's way more content. If that's something you guys are interested in, just let us know in the comments below. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.